Well, it looks like we saved the world again, Wonder Woman. We couldn't have done it without you, Black Widow.
And that makes me way hot. Maybe we should kiss each other and touch our private parts. Yes, that's the one.
Excuse me, Master Dandridge.
I told you to never interrupt me when I'm working!
Forgive me, I've just come to inform you that the new Ghostbusters trailer has arrived.
Oh my god. It's happened.
Hey guys, Chris here. Welcome to Found Flicks. I don't need these. So in my absence, there have been a bunch of big horror news stories that I simply have to talk about. Obviously, everyone has their opinion about the new Ghostbusters trailer that came out this week. And guess what? So do I. But before that, a few other stories to get the ball rolling. For a while now, there's been a new Predator reboot in the works. But this has already happened. Anyone remember a few years back that movie Predators starring Topher Grace and directed by ultra hack Robbie Rodriguez? No, I didn't think so. Recently, Shane Black took over as writer-director, and it seems like the project is finally moving forward. Plus, Shane was actually involved in the first Predator, not just as a supporting cast member, but also to keep an eye on director John McTiernan. But an interesting story this week involves the possible return of Arnold, who played Dutch in the original Predator way back in '87. Sure, why not? I don't really think that bringing Arnie back would ruin anything. But it also isn't as simple as, oh, Dutch is back, so the new movie will be good. Just look at Genesis. If the movie is crap, it doesn't matter if Arnie is there or not.
I'll be back.
What?
The thing about Predator movies is that there really isn't too much to do with the character. It's a badass interstellar warrior, and so they pit him against humans. He kills most of them, and that's it. And I'm sure the new movie will kind of be forced to go with a similar kind of story. However, I think it has a better chance at success with Shane Black directing and writing. He has a very distinct style and sense of humor to his movies, and I think he's smart enough to subvert the formula of a Predator movie and find a way to present the same story in a fresh way. Also in the works over at Fox is an Exorcist TV show. I love that the rights holders at Morgan's Creek said they wouldn't remake the movie, but they're like, we didn't say nothing about TV. Haha, suckers. So far it's only a pilot, and it was just announced that Geena Davis has joined the cast in a lead role. Here's a quote about her role in the show. Naturally beautiful, regal, and proud, but weighed down by stress, Angela Rance does everything she can to stay positive and keep her faith, even though her family is currently struggling. She can't help but think, however, if perhaps her nightmares about a demon are a sign of what's wrong. Okay, I'm so glad to know that she's naturally beautiful, regal, and proud. If that's what Geena Davis needs to hear, that's fine. And her demon dreams could perhaps be a sign? I should hope so, because that's the whole plot of the thing. But just from this, it also feels like they're going to take their time to really get the story going, using that whole slow burn kind of storytelling that's so in vogue right now. So, you know, for like 10 episodes, Geena Davis is just wandering around her house being spooked by nothing, then they'll finally be like, oh look, it's a demon! No! But boredom and suspense are not the same thing. The biggest problem is that it's going to be on Fox, so any real violence and terror is going to have to be toned way down. While the movie relies more on suspense than gore, it still seems like it's going to be very difficult to translate to broadcast TV. Next up is some exciting casting announcements on the currently filming season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. First, Lee Majors has been cast as Ash's dad. Awesome! But since most of you watching are not 700 years old, I'll forgive you for not knowing who Lee Majors is. However, he's been a dependable hard-ass for 50 years in Hollywood. This is exciting because we haven't really delved into anything about Ash's parents in the show or movies. I mean, I assumed he had parents or whatever, but I guess it wasn't relevant. He wasn't trying to call Dad to come help him out at the cabin. Daddy, the demon ate my friends. Can you pick me up? It's exciting that they'll be exploring an entirely untapped area of Ash's world. I have a feeling that Papa Williams will be just like Ash, a selfish loudmouth, and where Ash got his trademark foibles from.
First you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. Blow.
I can see him showing up in the second season and providing Ash with support, but just like Ash in the finale, makes a selfish choice and leaves Ash when he needs him the most. This would be a nice setup for Ash learning a harsh lesson about how his dad affected him and making Ash into the man he is. This would painfully force Ash to do some real soul searching, potentially finally learning to be a little less selfish. And another huge casting announcement, Ted Raimi is joining the show as a childhood friend of Ash's named Chet. I'm really hoping that this is the same character Ted played at the end of Army of Darkness that works with Ash at S-Mart. I love how totally bored and uninterested he is in Ash's story. It would be a really funny kind of dynamic to see again with the two of them so many years later. This will also flesh out Ash's history and allow us to explore all new layers to the character of Ash. What the hell was Ash like as a kid? I really have no idea. My only problem with this He should be playing multiple characters. He shows up 5 times in Army of Darkness alone. He played Henrietta, for God's sakes. I'll always remember the behind the scenes for Evil Dead 2 when someone pours sweat out of one of the Henrietta legs Ted was wearing after filming. It's like, wow, that's some dedication right there. It's exciting knowing that we'll have another important player from the movies involved in the show, and I can't wait to see how these new cast members affect the story. And of course, the biggest story to happen that makes everything else seem tiny and useless in comparison. The first trailer came out for the new Ghostbusters, and it's safe to say that opinions have been a little mixed. I was joking, it's a fucking hate parade! But it isn't entirely the trailer's fault. So is the new Ghostbusters completely doomed to bomb horribly into oblivion? The short answer? Yep. It's because there's something weird that's been brewing in the fan base since the movie first started production. An extreme amount of hate, which really has taken on an entire life of its own at this point. I haven't seen anything like this with a movie where the entirety of nerdom stands up together and is like, no! The trailer was merely the final nail in the shit coffin. The hate train has sailed, my friend. And director Paul Feig certainly isn't helping things, taking every opportunity to shout out for no reason to fuck the haters. That's a good reaction, probably. Alienate the fan base, the people who are most likely to shell out $15 for a ticket. But we'll never know because the trailer is terrible, hater or not. It's a lazy rehash of the first one, and almost every beat scene is borrowed from the first film. Down to the villain being able to possess our heroes, just like in the first fucking movie. Oh, her head spun around, like in The Exorcist. That's pretty cool, I guess. And to fuel the fire, the title describes how 30 years ago, 4 scientists saved the world. But Winston isn't a scientist. Hilariously, this is changed in the new international trailer to 4 friends. They don't even know their own goddamn movie. Before I let it go, there's another major thing I have to discuss. We haven't really seen any of Neil Casey, the weird-looking guy who is reported to be playing the main villain. But we have, in fact, seen the villain, in the place where all movie spoilers start, the toys. At a recent toy show, a line of action figures for the new Ghostbusters were showcased. We got the 4 girls, and then this ghost guy. But it's obvious what this is. The goddamn logo ghost is alive! Like in the opening of Real Ghostbusters. So they're fighting the ghost logo? That's the big bad guy? What the fucking fuck? Are you kidding me, Sony? Sony? You kidding me? I can just see a Sony brain trust meeting trying to come up with a bad guy and a jackass exec being like, well, why don't we just use the logo ghost? What's his story? Get the hell out of here. Even worse, it's just a rehash of Stay Puft, but again, not creative at all. Seriously, this shit took 30 years to come up with? Enjoy your massive bomb, Sony. I'll sit back and watch the flaming wreckage. But don't worry about them. I'm sure they'll be back on track with their MIB/Jump Street crossover coming soon. Sorry about that, guys. Got a little flustered. Anyway, that's it for this time, but I'll be back real soon with more videos. Any important news stories that I missed? And what did you guys think about the new Ghostbusters trailer? You can let me know in the comments below or tweet me at FoundFlix. So make sure to subscribe so you get the best in horror entertainment. Thanks for watching.
That girl looks
My
spook.
name is Erin Gilbert, Doctor of Particle Physics at
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
That stuff went everywhere, by the way, in every crack. Very hard to watch.